Welcome to the ISS of BC guide on work permit application forms. In this video, we will show you how to find and fill out an online work permit application form. This guide is only for applying online. You cannot send this application by mail. For more information about applying by mail, please contact SOS. If you have any work permit application questions that are not answered in this guide, please contact your settlement worker. Finding the application. Open Google and search for Work Permit Inside Canada. Click on the first result, Guide 5553. If you see this page, you're in the right place. To fill out the application, click on Completing the Forms under the table of contents. Next, click on Application to change conditions or extend your stay in Canada. You won't be able to see the application unless you save it on a computer that has the latest version of Adobe Reader. Download the form and be sure to open it from the folder location. The form will not open on your browser. Filling out the application, type your unique client identifier number, UCI, which you can find on top of your Refugee Protection Claimant document. Next, select the language, English or French, in which you would like to receive your service. Check the appropriate box to indicate whether you are applying for your initial work permit or for an extension of your existing work permit. If it's your first work permit, choose Apply for a work permit for the first time or with a new employer. If it's not your first work permit, choose Apply for a work permit with the same employer. Personal details. Type your family name and given name exactly as it is written on your Refugee Protection Claimant document. If you have ever used any other family names or given names in your life, choose Yes and type all of your previous names in this section. From the list, select your gender as it appears on your Refugee Protection Claimant document. Type your date of birth as it is shown on your Refugee Protection Claimant document. Type your city or town of birth, it is most likely written on your passport, and select your country of birth from the list. Select your country of citizenship from the list. If you have dual citizenship, select the country that issued the passport you used for coming to Canada. Select your status from the list. If your refugee claim has been accepted and you received your Notice of Positive Decision, select Protected Person. If you are still waiting for a decision to be made about your refugee claim, or you've received notice of a negative decision, select Refugee Claimant. If you have lived in any country other than your country of citizenship or Canada for more than 6 months in the past 5 years, select Yes and choose the name of that country, your status in that country, and the date you entered and left that country. Select your current marital status from the list. If you are married or in a common law relationship, you must provide the date which you were married or entered into the common law relationship. Also, you need to type your spouse or common law partner's name and select whether he or she is a Canadian citizen or permanent resident. If you have previously been married or in a common law relationship, select Yes and type the required information. Languages. Select your native language from the list. If your native language is not on the list, select Other. Select whether you are able to communicate in English, French, both, or neither. If you can communicate in both English and French, select the language you are more proficient with. Select whether you have taken a test from a designated testing agency such as IELTS. Passport. Type your passport information. If you are a refugee claimant with an expired passport, put tomorrow's date as the expiration in order to continue filling out your form. If the country that issued your passport is Taiwan or Israel, you need to answer one of the following questions. National Identity Document. If you have a national identity document, select Yes and enter your document information. USPR card. If you are a lawful permanent resident of the United States with a valid green card, choose Yes and enter your document information. Contact information. Enter the address that you want IRCC to send your new work permit. If you live at a different address from your mailing address, choose No and enter your residential address. Choose Canada US, select Cellular from the list, and enter your mobile phone number. Leave the next 2 spots empty. Next, type your email address carefully, as it will be the only way that IRCC will contact you about your work permit process. Coming to Canada. Type the date and place that you entered Canada right before your refugee claim. Select Other from the list and type Refugee Claim in Section B. If you have traveled outside of Canada after your refugee claim, type the date and place of your most recent entry to Canada. If you are applying for the extension of your work permit, type the document number of your current work permit. The document number is a combination of black-colored letters and numbers on the top right side of your work permit. Details of intended work in Canada. First, select Open Work Permit from the list. Leave the following spots empty, and then select No. Education. Select Yes if you have any kind of education after high school, and type the information of your most recent education in this section. Employment. Type the information about your current employment. If you are applying for your first work permit after your refugee claim and have not worked in Canada since your last entry to Canada, enter the date of your original entry to Canada in From and leave 2 empty. Type Unemployed in Current, Activity, Occupation, and NA in Company, Employer, Facility Name. In City, enter the city where you are living now, and in Country and Province, enter Canada and BC. Type the information about your last 2 employment positions in Section 2 and 3 if they are within the last 10 years. If you have had more than 2 jobs in the last 10 years, only put the last 2. Background information. Read all of the questions carefully and answer the questions. Signature. Answer the question carefully. Type your full name instead of your signature and add today's date. Validation. Now click Validate and make sure the document generates a set of barcodes. If it does not generate the barcodes, that means your application is missing information. It will tell you which part of the application is incomplete. Review the application one more time and try validating again. At the end, save your application on your computer and close it. You may now move on to submitting your application. For any information not covered in this guide, please contact your settlement worker.